ちにもいるな。
What carnage?
誰もいないよ。気のせいだよ。もういいかな。これは隠れ続けるとこう小気度が上がるんでしょうか。すごい視界がどんどん悪くなってくる。小気度が上がるとは言わないか。下がっていくのか。こう不安な気持ちがどんどん強くなっていくのかな。上だいぶ黒い。調べられるものないのか。このスイッチ入れられない。これさっき言ったな。すぐ見つかる。入ってきたか。はい、どっか行けし。あとは脱出するだけなんだけどな。いや、ここすぐ見つかるな。
Get me out! Don't let me sleep in here.
お、いないいない。今のうちだ。いや、ここは
Doctor, is that you? Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious machine. It gives us time to get away. I'll undo you. Get away? Get away where? I can't go anywhere. It'll find me, like it found me here. You're mistaken about the beast. Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
何か異様なものが手間には残していけない。あなたには治療が必要だ。なんだろう。
What is the exact nature of the beast you're running away from?
You've got instinct, a sensitivity for the invisible. It puts you in danger. The creature that is pursuing me is not from our world.
After what I've seen so far on this island, I'm ready to believe you.
Don't do that! Do not believe, or you'll end up like us all.
What happened to you, Sanders?
The real culprit is Sarah. Her and her accursed paintings.
You're kidding me. You're talking about Sarah Hawkins.
The one and only. The legendary. There is no artist more enlightened or cursed than Sarah Hawkins.
時間制限。
In her office, I saw signs of a ritual, perhaps an invocation. These things, that's what makes you say she's cursed.
You're wrong. It was not an invocation, but a revocation.
何か追い払う儀式。
But she
しかし
failed.
失敗した。それが問題点。
And that's what counts.
What's going on this island?
I'm so sorry. We should never have met.
What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. Don't let it see you, or you won't be able to escape it. Don't look at it.
あれ、見つかってしまったんだ。もう逃げられないんだ。
Sarah Hawkins' visitor. The Shambler.
Sanders, pull yourself
空気か。
together.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save
彼
me.
女がいなければ私が救われることはありえない。
Sanders! What the hell?
うわー、うわー。うわ
I got it. Okay.
ー。サウンドチェック。
This is insane.
ありえない。
What killed him?
何が彼を殺したんだ。サラは空気を召喚したんだけど、本当はなんか追い払おうとしてて失敗したの。元気はサラダみたいなこと言ってたの。ほえほえほ。えほえほ。ガスが充満している。出れた。めまいが。
The gas!
ガスが。
Oh. My head.
Later. We need to move on.
あれ、巡査また出てきた。ピアスはリバーサイド病院の地下室の収容所で目を覚ました。そこで彼はブラッドリーの友人であるコールデン氏と出会い、脱出を援助してもらった。フラッシュが支配する施設をさめていると、フランシス・サンダースという男と話すことができた。探偵の目前で死ぬ直前、彼はサラ・ホーキンスを苦しみの根源として罵した。かくしてピアスはブラッドリーとコールデンともにようやく呪われた施設を抜け出した。不運な仲間たちはホーキンス手を隠れ家にすることにする。ホーキンス手を隠れ家にするの？コールデン氏がさっきのマリーだよね。ここをキャンプ地とする。
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
また先に逃げようとする。深刻な告発ですよ。どういう意味かわかりますか？私に患者に対する義務があります。あの男は彼らの命をおもちゃにしている。あなたの言うことが正しいとしたら、彼があなたを、証拠を見つけなければならない。好きにするといい。ただ説得しようとしてるだけだ。明るい。 ちゃんと日の光が届いている。いやー、ちょっとこう、あれだね。一旦心落ち着けるターンですな。いろいろあって。てかさ、結局、ブラッドリーは死んでない。目の前で思いっきりズブーされてたけど。だとしたらどっから幻覚だったのって話なんだけどな。わからんなぁ。どういうことなんだろうな。
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
寝てました。無事なんですか、あなたは。
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
失踪届け。
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look
いや、
like you
幽霊を
saw
見
a
たような
ghost.
気分だよ。
There are things
説明できないことが
I
起きて
can't
いる。
explain.
Tell us. What happened?
ひどい目にあった。ヒントを見つけたかもしれない。そうきさんの子。とりあえず話しかけたい。
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
仲は良くない。
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
巡査はホーキンスを撃った記憶もないね。記憶を失っているようですね。医学のプロ。記憶を失っている。
What do you remember?
何を覚えていま
I
すか？
don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion.
トンネ
You
ルに
don't
行った
seem
こ
to
とは
remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel.
記憶にない。
No, we were in the
屋敷に行った。
manor then.
Then what?
I
記憶
the
がぼや
rest
け
is
てい
quite
る。
blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel.
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
記憶が混濁している。なるほど。これは選べない。残念ながら医学のプロを持っていない。じゃあ。ひどい目
I
にあ
have
った。
flashbacks. They haunt me.
本当にひ
What
どい
did
目に
they
あっ
do
た。
to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller and a nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs, the pain, I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something. I woke up at the institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
フラー先生は外面はいい人なんだろうな、きっと。
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there.
空気にやられた。
Of what do you speak?
何を言っているんだ。
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense.
意味がわからない。
I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector,
あー
you say?
奥さんのところに。
That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
You're right.
慎重に行こ
Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
う。
That
説明で
seems
きん。
wise indeed.
Very well.
命運を左右し
I'll
ま
go to
す。
see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and
そ
Sarah
の奥さん
Hawkins.
に会いに行く。
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
よくにならないよ。
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
あ、さっきの選択肢がもう出なくなったか。オカルト関係のちょっと話したかったんだけど。
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
いやー、どういう進め方で選択肢が選べなくなるのかがわからん。サンダースの妻にとにかく話を聞きに行くことになったから、
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
これはもう勝手に進めばいいのか。
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
どっから行けばいいのか。ここを開ければいいのかな。出る。ピアース、コルデン、ブラッドリーの3人は組んでサラ・ホーキンス事件を解決することにした。彼らは新たな筋道を掴んでいる。美術品収集家であり、画家の友人であり、ピアスの目の前で死んだフランシス・サンダースである。この不幸な男が死の前に口にした空気について妻に聞くため探偵が家に向かう。美術品コレクターだったサンダース。
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here.
なぜお前がここにいる。
You know each other.
Our paths crossed, briefly. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
立派な家だな。
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
旦那をサラとサラの絵についてばっかり言ってたから、ちょっとイラッとしてたっぽい。そして病院に入れられてからは会っていないと。叫びながら亡くなりました。亡くなった時、そこにいなかった。これだとちょっと話が冷静に受け止めてらっしゃるんですね。
I expected to find you more grief-stricken than this by the death of your husband.
I do not like the tone of your allusion, sir. I had long months to weep every tear in my body, and to accept, if not my fate, at least that of my husband. And so I'm sorry to disappoint you if you're expecting more hysteria and grieving widow in my voice. Rest assured, however, my anger is real. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
何があったのか教えてほしいと。助けられなかったのかと。私は関係ない。フラーが本当の元凶。彼はあそこに送ったのは私であれば。長押しで話術をテストする。フラーでもなんか私は関係ないんですね。なんかそれはそれでなんか違う気がするな。フラーが本当の元凶なんですよ。これかな。
So ask Fuller, he's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you, you'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
That churl no longer takes the trouble to receive me. He sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me. His own widow. You must think that I am a terrible wife for having abandoned him in such a way. But I only wanted what was best for him.
I'm not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
キャットのことをここで聞くのもちょっと違う気がするけどな。サラについてどうやって知ったのか。
How did you come to meet Sarah Hawkins?
We were the wealthiest and most influential families on Darkwater. Of course we would know each other. And when Charles returned from Europe with his sweet little artist, she and her sinister paintings were destined to catch my husband's eye. He bought many of her works over the last 5 years. They adorn his macabre gallery.
ここにも絵がある。キャットはここで何を聞きたいよね。
May I ask you what Miss Baker is doing here? How do you know her?
My business with Miss Baker is private, Mr. Pierce.
But you do know what kind of business Miss Baker is in, don't you?
I am no fool. Please believe that much at least.
分かってて付き合ってはいる。
I deduce that your husband already mentioned this dimensional shambler.
Well, you can't imagine that's all he talked about.
空気の
It's
話ばっか
exhibited
り
at
して
the
た。
center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself,
ギャラリーに空気の
if
絵
you
が
feel
ある。
so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
ギャラリーを見ていいって。その前に。
Did she really care for him after all?
前略ご説教されたご主人様のご遺体を求めの手紙に配慮いたしました。誠に遺憾ながらご遺体をお返しすることできかねます。ご主人様のグリウムさん、 ご遺体をこちら処理する旨の証明をいただいております。ああ、遺体すら返してくれないと。だいぶフライ氏に腹を立ててそうですね。
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
空気がサンダースの人生に現れた日。サラ・ホーキンスと隣にサンダースが写っている写真。親しいようです。お。
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
友人関係。本当にそれだけだったのか。
A house of artists.
芸術家の家。
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
売ることができなかった。なんか譲ったみたいな感じだった。ただで譲ったみたいな感じだったよね。
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom?
これをどうしても手に入れたかったと。
She first refused to sell the painting.
最初は売るのを拒否した。
Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
妻は嫉妬していたかもしれない。ああ。うわー。うわー。
The Shambler. I need to see it.
これ見たら狂いそうだけど。第2巻はガス海藻エソから戦争肝炎まであらゆるものを扱って緻密かつ詳細の研究に加え前衛的な理論も提示する。その難解さから読めるのは医学専門家に限られる。